Hey, welcome back to First Time Feast. I'm going to show you one of my personal favorites. Today we're doing a Texas style brisket. So Texas style brisket, the only thing you really need for that is a little bit of S&P. We're going to do some salt, we're going to do some pepper, and just for a little bit of flavor, we're going to hit it with some Jack Daniel's beef rub. Today we're rocking a 9-pound brisket. So they say you want to do about an hour and a half for every pound. So we're rocking 9 pounds. We're going to put this guy on about 6 p.m. That means we're going to come back here about tomorrow morning around 8 p.m., let her rest for a couple of hours, and we're going to have ready for some lunch. Let's get it. 8-in-1 cooking pellets. These pellets do it all. So today we are using Pitboss's Championship Blend pellets. This product contains wood dust substance known as in the state of California that may cause cancer. Well, that's not good. Competition blend. So this is, if I'm not mistaken, their packaging is kind of vague, but it seems like this is a combination of hickory, apple, mesquite, cherry, maple, pecan, whiskey barrel, alder, oak, charcoal, classic, fruit wood, and trophy. All right, so I guess it's for somebody that's like, I don't know what the I'm doing, so we're gonna throw everything on it and call it champion. With these pellet grills, I can't really find one. I haven't been able to find one that really does impact a lot of smoke flavor. I have my offset smoker, and as any true diehard smoking fan knows, you can't beat real wood, right? You just can't beat it. So far, this is the best pellet that I've actually liked. I do like my Easy Bake Oven behind me. It does a good job. It's really easy as far as set it and forget it. But as far as really giving you a really good, true, smoky, awesome barbecue experience, it's gonna fall short. Unfortunately, that's just the sad truth of it. But these competition cancer-causing pellets are some of the best pellets that I've come across so far. So we got our 12-hour, 13-hour smoke ahead of us. We're gonna go ahead and fill up the hopper, and we're gonna get to cooking. Let's get it. All right. So what we're gonna do, we got this 9-pound brisket, and I have it fat cap up right now. So we're gonna go ahead and just trim this down a little bit. There is a lot of fat, a lot of thick, unneeded fat. So we're gonna go ahead and give this guy a little bit of a quick trim. By the time we're done, it's probably gonna be closer to about a 7-pound brisket. We're gonna season it up with some salt and pepper. We're gonna toss her in the smoker and let her roll. So it's kind of a pretty thick fat cap. So I'm just gonna kind of go with some shallow strokes. We don't need to remove all of this fat. We do want some of it on here, but we don't need nearly as much that is actually here. All right, so today we are smoking on our Pitboss Pro Series. Because we're doing this brisket, we're gonna smoke this on 225 degrees for probably between about 12 and 13 hours. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and get her fired up and get her up to temp. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and season this guy up. Like I said, we're just gonna season it with some salt and pepper. We're gonna go heavy on the salt on the fat side. When we flip it over, we're gonna be still pretty liberal with it, okay? So we're just gonna season it up. And we're gonna hit it with some thick, coarse black pepper. You want to make sure that this thing has a really nice bark when it's all said and done. I like to add a little bit of Jack Daniel's beef rub. This stuff is really good. I like it on burgers, I like it on all kinds of stuff. We are not sponsored by Beef Rub. We are not sponsored by Pitboss. We're not sponsored by anybody. I'm just telling you how I like it. This stuff, pretty good stuff. To the wind. All right, now we're gonna flip her over and we're gonna do the exact same thing. We want to get this guy reach 160 degrees internal. Then we're gonna pull it, we're gonna wrap it, and we're gonna let it go the rest of the way. Ideal temp, I'm gonna try to pull this guy between 202 and 204 degrees. Go ahead, we're gonna throw her in. I kind of like to put it in the middle. Make sure that it's not touching the sides or edges anywhere. You wanna let plenty of room for air and smoke to kind of get all around that guy and give it a nice smoky hug, just like Aunt Helen. You know how that is when you go to Aunt Helen's house and she just like sit on her smoky ass couch and just choke and want to die. That's how that meat's gonna feel for the next 12 hours. Distracted by the magic fingers. Hey. 6 hours in, we're gonna go ahead and pull it. We're gonna wrap it up real quick, and then we're gonna toss it back in for the rest of the night. Put her to bed. So I came out here to check on my smoker during the middle of the night, only to find out that the Pitboss somehow blew a fuse. Not 110% sure as to what exactly happened, but I'm glad I checked on it so I didn't ruin my brisket. But this is the second time that this Pitboss has done that. I don't know if it's a manufacturer defect or what the situation is, but needless to say, I am a little bit perturbed and tired that I just wasted the last 10 hours, 8 hours on this brisket, and I'm gonna have to spend some money on fixing this Pitboss again. All right, so welcome back. To summarize where we are, came out in the middle of the night last night, only to find my trusty, dusty Pitboss Pro Series completely shit the bed. I think it blew a fuse, it blew a circuit, it blew something, blew its wad, I don't really know, but it died. Let's leave it that way. So I had to do some alternative means. So we finished off the brisket in the oven. It is not the way that I wanted it to go, but we got it cooked off in the oven. We got our internal temperature of 205 degrees. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull it out of this shell of a casket. I don't know. We're just gonna pull it out of here. So it's completely done. Nice and juicy. We're not gonna have the smoke. Oh, this is juicy. It's not gonna have the smoke that we would like it to have, but we'll see how she tastes. Oh my God. Pull our temp spike. Oh, fuck! Son of a bitch. Well, that's what 225 degrees feels like. Fuck. Bitch was wet. Like, for real. Just how much of a smoke ring our standard conventional oven leaves. He too can wield Excalibur. Should we start with the flat or the point? What do you want to do here? Please, let's just see how she tastes. Top 5 worst briskets I've ever had. Kind of pissed off, to be completely honest. I had my Pro Series going, checked on it. It was running like a champ, only to find out that it completely just died, shit the bed, just dead on arrival. So what I did, I pretty much just wrapped it up, put it in the fridge, said, you know what, I'm not going to worry about this tonight. I'm going to finish it off in the morning. Didn't have any charcoal for my offset, so the only third best option, plan Z, that we went to was just throw it in the conventional oven. We still brought it up to temperature. It did have roughly like 6-7 hours of smoke on it, but again, that's just going to be some Pitboss pellet smoke. Nowhere near the penetrating power than it should have. Flavor wise, I mean, it was seasoned very well with salt and pepper and that beef rub. So from a flavor profile, it tastes pretty good. It is a little bit dry, and I think that is just because it cooked partial, it stalled out, and then we reheated it. So overall, not the greatest brisket, but that is to be expected. We're totally going to bring this thing back. We're going to run it back with a much better redemption brisket, and we'll probably do it on a more reliable product. That's better. All right, so we cut into her. So we're looking, it's kind of like a tale of two stories here. So we have our flat, which if you're looking at that flat, it is completely dry. It is busted. Like, look at that. Like, it's still soft and squishy, yeah, but it is not the type of meat that you want to put in your mouth. That's what she said. But on this other side of the point, as you can see, there is a really nice smoke ring. The smoke did penetrate a pretty good distance there. It's really juicy. It's really fatty. It's really moist and succulent. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a couple of sandwiches and give this thing a try. An artisanal squeeze. The artistry of the barbecue snake. Oh yes, the barbecue snake. That's like a porn star barbecue name. The barbecue snake. All right, let's get after it. I mean, if we're being real honest about it, it is very tender. It's very moist. There is a good texture to the brisket, but there really is lacking a lot of that smoky flavor, which makes sense. Typically, when you do a brisket, they're anywhere from like 12 to 18 hours, depending on how big they are. This one started off as a 9-pound brisket. By the time we trimmed it down, it was just shy of 7. Now that all the fat's rendered out, I mean, I bet you we probably have like 3 pounds of meat here at most. Considering all of the obstacles and hurdles and everything that we came through, it's not bad. I mean, am I going to throw this away? Hell no. We're going to eat it and enjoy it. Absolutely. Is there better briskets out there? You bet. But overall, I'm really happy with the way that this came out, all things considered, like I said. But next time you're going to see, I'm going to be doing a review of the Pitboss. Let's get it.